the
Fine,
drafting
it's
tool as
8.
well.
Ooh, Thresh ban immediately.
Alright, he does not want to see Team Diff's Thresh. We didn't see that champion last round, we saw Milio. Well, clearly it's for the support, but
I don't see it as a target ban.
Team Diff gets rid of Aurelion Soul, just to make sure. Is Thresh an intentional ban?
Is a saucy ban.
Wrong ban. That should have been Heka. He's green, I guess.
That's a Hecarim ban? Okay.
Now we're gonna have to make a formal announcement sometime soon that people should stop banning the wrong champ.
Okay, that's a Shen ban. Let's see. Okay, they're targeting Zambiru. They've targeted Saucy. At least their best picks. Mordekaiser ban coming again against Team
This time
Diff.
not just a helmet. And Misfortune getting banned out by Team Diff themselves, even though they're the ones that played this champ last game.
Yeah, it's a target ban against Binas.
Ooh,
And
we pull out the Mundo. They decide that instead of banning the champ, they'll just pick it.
I want to see a Mundo
Let's
counter.
see,
Something like a Riven, an Aatrox.
Aatrox is surprisingly a very manageable lane as Mundo.
Yes.
I would even go as far to say as when I'm playing Mundo into Aatrox, I feel like I have the advantage. That is, of course, because Aatrox's build is in a weird place. And Sivir.
Surely I won't face Mundo every game, right, guys? Right. Right.
Mundo every match, guys. Mundo.
Yeah, Mundo every
game. Let's go. Record run. 3 Mundos in a row. It's gonna be like a scratch ticket.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Sivir doesn't have any % health damage on her kit, right?
No, absolutely not. She's just a lot of flat damage that she gets to put out of very fast. Lulu.
Sivir Lulu.
Very nice, safe bot lane that they've picked, Team Diff. Good job with the bot lane draft here.
I agree with the Sivir pick.
No, Sivir is a very good first blind pick. She's a very neutral champion. She always does damage, she always does something. Even if she's a bit behind, she can give her team movement speed and they can play the game.
Okay, Ashe coming
Same goes...
for... No.
They're gonna pick 2 late game scalers. Okay, Smolder and Mundo getting picked by V, your enemy.
Alright, if this goes to late game, this is gonna be rough for Team Diff.
Let's see, will Team Diff be able to play out the exact same team that they just played against Team Hazard?
I think support here might get picked. Let's see. What supports does he play?
Ooh, Alistar. Wow. Okay. We're getting a hard engage from V as Alistar support, but that doesn't work too well into Lulu. That champion should, realistically speaking, never get walked up on. But V's team seems to be off-roading experts because they've got Alistar who knows the way and Mundo who goes where he pleases, right? So I think that they won't have any problems with engaging at any time. Right, Victor gets picked by Team Diff. Very interesting champion choice. We don't see too many Victors nowadays. After he got reworked, his play rate has plummeted a little bit. Still a very viable champion. Just a rare one, so to say. Waiting for the next ban. Team Diff decided to get rid of Fizz to ensure that safe lane for Victor. V are for some reason getting scared of that Zac. They do not want to see it from the previous game. They've already stolen Mundo, picked Smolder, now they've banned Zac. Yeah, I can definitely see this being like a banning strategy.
Might get a Diana ban, maybe?
Diana ban for the jungle? And the mid lane. Ooh. A flex ban.
Oh wow.
They take our hint to actually go for the Diana ban. Wonderful.
Wow.
V decide to hover that Sejuani and get rid of it. V do not like tanks. They have banned Mordekaiser, Zac, Sejuani, and supposedly Hecarim. We'll ignore that Thresh being there. He's green enough. And now Team Diff going in with their last couple of champions. This could be here only the the jungler and the top laner. So they're not leaving any room for creativity. This doesn't really matter for V because they already picked their top laner, but it does matter. They're gonna leave out the last pick for their top laner despite already knowing who the enemy top lane is. That's
To be
weird.
fair, quite a few people on your enemy play Mundo. Like
That is true. Zambiru plays him.
Yeah, I've seen him being played here by Saucy, the mid laner. I've seen him being played by. Yep.
Well, I mean,
Zambiru
the more the better, bro.
and
Mundo
he
is not
also
that kind
plays
of champion that you need to play 50,000 hours to know how to time your barrels, or I don't know what interactions the champion has. You just need to push, push, and push. And Annie gets picked by V, an unusual mid lane pick, especially into
I think that's
Victor.
Trundle for Zambiru.
Looks
Alright,
to be the
let's see
case.
what we're
One of
gonna
his
get.
pocket picks, Zambiru had that one legendary match where he as Trundle solo carried and backdoored to win the game.
So, Ambessa is still up for grabs. Jax is still up for grabs.
Again,
Urgot, Irelia.
Gwen, wonderful
Gwen.
champion. I would definitely look for that Gwen pick here because, okay, well,
Nope.
Jax is fine too. It's just, Jax won't be too strong into Smoldra because Smoldra's Q, although it's kind of an auto attack, isn't. So,
Yep.
if they let it scale to late game, the top lane monstrosity known as Mundo will outscale Jax. Smolder will outscale Jax. Trundle is going to get countered by Jax, but there's still a chance of him getting outscaled, so you never know. Realistically speaking, I would have picked that Gwen, personally. But that's just me looking down pessimistically on Jax's potential in this match. Maybe he'll show me something I don't know yet.
Does Jax have percent health damage?
Yes, he does. His E actually chunks for a very solid 7% if done properly.
Okay. And Jarvan has percent health damage in his passive, right?
No, that's just flat. I think that's just flat flat damage. I would need to double check that though. Jarvan.
They don't have a lot of percent health damage to deal with the Mundo. And when you
Current
Mundo,
health. It's current, not max. Current.
Okay.
Well, we do see a lot of powerful AD with this Jarvan though, and a very good follow-up from Jackson. Potential faraway damage from Sivir. So I don't think he'd end up stranded in team fights. I think that this is a pretty balanced team.
Yep. At least this time we see two frontliners on each team. Well, VYE have Alistair as well. That is a very heavy front line. This might be a rough game for Team Diff if VYE scale. How do you think top lane's gonna go?
I think top lane, depending on if it's Mundo or Trundle, because either of those two champions could be jungle top lane. I think if it's Mundo into Jax, it comes down to Jax being able to cheese out a kill from Mundo before level 6. Even after level 6, it's the same thing, but once Mundo gets 2 items, Jax can go back to sleep. Realistically speaking, the Jax champion is strong as hell in this lane, and if he gets the momentum, he will be able to keep it up for the entire game. But any one tiny thing goes wrong for Jax here, even if he has a lead, if another small thing goes wrong, he's just going to be set back so far that he's never going to really catch up. He could just coin flip it. He could just cheese out kills. This top lane isn't really going to be predictable. It depends on how all of the other players are going to be.
On Dr. Mundo, Dev and Benas in the bot lane, Saucy on Annie, and YOLO Swag. So it's a Trundle.
YOLO Swag was a jungler. Could have sworn YOLO Swag is a jungle player.
I don't know.
And Zambiru is a top laner. Yeah, he sometimes swaps over to ADC and support.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't think that Mundo is an ADC or support. So let's just leave the guesses up to our own discretion here. I think mid is going to be balanced as well. Annie into Victor sounds like a fair matchup. Doesn't seem like a counter matchup to me. The jungle, I mean, Jarvan,
Isn't Annie a little
Trundle.
short range for her to deal with Victor?
That is true, but Annie does have her E, so she should be able to keep up with Victor just the least bit. I mean, this is just going to be mid lane dodgeball. The instant Annie walks up, Victor has to run away. The instant Victor walks up, Annie has to shield and run away.
Yep.
This is just going to be that one of those timing mini games again, just like the bot lane with Milio. Except this time it's the other way around. Let's see what else.
Nico goes hard. Mundo Law strikes again.
The law of Mundo. If not banned, if not picked, pick.
The triple kill and heart seal in base. Yep.
Right. Right.
In the chat.
Let's look at this bot lane
guys,
as well.
How do you think it's gonna go? Anybody has some predictions?
Can I have my prediction? I think it's gonna be a stalemate. I think it's gonna be a stalemate, and everyone's gonna go home.
I think
we're actually gonna get
the upper hand here in terms of team comp.
They do, but
Team Diff,
realistically speaking,
very strong.
Yep.
Communicators, I think they work well together. So we'll see.
Again, if we'd have those interviews, we'd be able to.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Ooh, we might get some shenanigans already early this game.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
All right, let's change the teams. Everybody knows what's up. Instead of OCP, we have Team Diff. Let's go. All right. Usual stuff. Protecting entrances.
And I've returned.
Hello.
It seems that I came back during the most eventful half of the match, where they sit in bushes and do nothing. Jax isn't even making use of a secret passive. He could right here be coming into lane with a grand total of a 6 gold lead.
Correct. You'll be fishing right now.
Sorry, even more. Yep. Damn it, I could be fishing, but here I am playing League of Legends. Ooh, Jax starts it off early with a nasty trade using his E. Making sure to not let Mundo trade too hard in return. I remind you, Jax suffers from really long cooldowns early game. That's a solid 14 seconds that he can't use his E again. But if he does rack up some attack speed with his passive and lethal tempo, and he walks up and starts beating Mundo over the head with his lamp, there's not much I think he could do about it.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
Yep. And Mundo just laughs it off.
Oh, okay. So, a second. I need to change these boys.
That's right, let's not forget about team frames. This time they're a lot more shuffled than they used to be.
Oh yeah, they're completely...
Of
fished.
course. Yep.
I'm trying to switch to Zambiru, but I'm going on the jungler for some reason. Oh, Google Maps, massive trade. Oh! Alright, this could be a dive.
I would suggest it. Actually, no, Zambiru didn't take Flash with him. So this is Google Maps' game to play here. He could trade 1-for-1 under tower, or he could overstay and get ganked by a YOLO swag killer.
What are our junglers doing?
Hmm.
Let's see. Right. Maserati is a little ahead here. Oh, it's gonna be a scuttle crab fight, I think. With Jax having the upper hand here. Ooh, X-Pac's getting chunked.
Ooh. And he doing some nice trades on X-Packs. Very unexpected, actually. The outrange is not hitting just yet because it's still there at the game.
Oh,
Ooh,
Maserati played that so well. He flashed first.
that's both a first blood and the mid lane and a kill 1v1 in top lane Google Maps.
Beautiful.
Jax really did have the momentum in this top lane.
And he's gonna
Like I said, a bit of a
double crab him.
volatile lane. If he gets the momentum, I'm pretty sure Mundo will never catch back up. Let's see here, Mundo's forced TP with just a Ruby Crystal.
Oh, he might
Jax
be able
currently
to
sitting
kill
at
him
level
again
5. Would be able to kill him again if Mundo tried to force it, but I don't think Sambiru is going to do that. Ooh, but Jax eats an unlucky tower shot. Unlucky.
here. Fine. He pushed in the wave. He can back now. Right. Bot lane's just a push fest, obviously. Shambles is on Sivir. Makes sense. And they also have a melee support. Which against Lulu's a little rough. But we have YOLO Swag Killer coming in for the gank. Pillar hitting solo D'Amato. Dev goes in. Pulverize.
D'Amato
and
gives
D'Amato-
himself to keep Sivir alive. And that's our first death coming in from Team Diff.
I mean, Lulu still had heal, right? I think they could have made it.
I think Lulu was trying to save summoner spells for that fight later on at Drake. Jarvan is
fair
in that area and he will be contesting. I think he also wanted to win Sivir some time. I'm not sure how deep it goes, maybe he just miscalculated. But he did have Alistar within flash distance with his E fully stacked, so the only thing he could have done there really is just run back.
Yeah, because like they had used all their cooldowns, no? Like you could just.
They did, but
heal,
Alistar
get the
hit
boost
still
speed,
had
and
his. Yeah, but Alistar still had his stun right there. His E. Fully stacked, so you could have done it at any moment. It's just like he ran the opposite way, so he didn't get to.
Google Maps zoning Zambiro off. This is standard for Mundo.
Thankfully, he gets a farm with his.
The Sivir Ricochet actually cancelled Benas. Just as the wave came in.
As I was saying, thankfully, Mundo gets the farm with his infected Bonesaw.
Ooh. Wow. Google Maps is dealing stupid amounts of damage. That's a dive. I want to see this dive. Yep. That's a dive. That's not a dive. It's a bad dive.
It's a cancel dive. Ooh, Jax, come on.
Will
No rookie
Maserati's
mistakes here.
Yeah, he's gonna push the wave in, wait for Maserati to come in, but Trundle is there. He might be actually, this might be bad. If they mess it up. Well, Maserati needs to tank here. Never mind. Google Maps does need help.
If Jax here has his E, they could have actually gotten that kill as well. That's the first quarter of, first one-third
Ult saucy,
of
and saucy
feats.
ults.
Ooh. Oh, they could have gone in on Trundle there. What are you doing, Jarvan?
miscommunication
Inta.
Oof!
Ooh.
The ultimate just
Miscommunication. They had to use an extra ult there than they had to, but
was
I
bait.
suppose that it's a small price to pay for another solo kill. Trundle overstaying your welcome there. YOLO Swag Killer. What are we doing, buddy? You're playing into two champions which do better than you, and they have a level advantage of 2 and 1 level respectively. Not looking good here, guys. Right, let's take a quick look at what's happening around the map. We've got that first one-third of feats of strength getting taken by Team Diff. The next objectives that they're aiming to get now is some jungle prio, because that tower takes a little bit too long unless
The
your champion is set.
Maserati is already on the grubbies.
And Trundle just has to stick to full clearing because he unfortunately lost a lot of momentum having to defend that top lane. All of those seconds that he could have spent clearing
Not really
were
necessary.
spent defending top. Yep. I mean, hey, better safe than sorry. You already know.
Okay.
Okay, it's the first objective going to Team Diff. Avoid grubs. Let's keep our eyes open for what's gonna happen here. They're gonna invade the blue buff and then probably tower dive Zambiru one more time. No. Okay. So the motto is resetting here a little bit. I see. They left bot lane open long enough that it didn't matter what was gonna happen there. Ooh, but Jack's getting kind of DPS checked here by Mundo.
He is definitely not getting DPS checked. That's a Jax.
No. You see, the issue is here, right? Jax did all of that damage, but now it won't matter because Mundo's just gonna heal all that.
Flashed that. That was amazing reaction time. Oh. Nice.
Ooh, and another kill goes to Jax. Being able to cheese that out. Yep. You wanna face check him, stat check, you know? Then as soon as he has the slightest chance of beating you, you press the call your teammate button.
They still need to keep this up though, because if Mundo gets
Just a little bit of time alone, he can scale back. Yeah, and let's not forget about that creeping horror from the bot lane known as Smolder, who's already 1-0, and is already looking to get his next upgrade of his Q. He already has the explosions. Now soon it is just going to be the triples, and then after the triples, the burn, and that would be essentially almost game.
all of them are pretty even in farm except for the AD carry and top lane. But top lane, Zambiru has been...
Even so,
Oh, look at the standoff in top lane.
they're over-farming one another. Zambiru. Too early with that W reclick.
Top lane 9
Jax is actually sitting at his first item here, Trinity Force. He can 100 to 0 Mundo very easily here. He has his ult. This is definitely an angle for a solo tower dive.
Ah.
And Mundo has gotten his ult up again. There's no more chance for you to tower dive Jax. But Jarvan is in top lane. There's still the opportunity for the call your teammate button to come into effect.
There is definitely a call your teammate button again. Okay, ult goes off from Zambiru. Tries to survive. Saucy ults X-Packs, but he does same in kind, and X-Pack seems to have won that.
Like the average mid lane exchange. Like the average mid lane exchange, they just casted all of their abilities, threw them at one another, and then nothing happened. Amazing plays here. I'm surprised that mid lane is keeping it neutral. None of them have died just yet. Well, aside from Annie getting ganked that early time, I'm saying like died one-on-one.
Yep. Oh no, Google Maps is staying.
Google Map doesn't have TP up just yet. It's not very beneficial for him to be resetting just yet.
Okay, the Nas tried to go all in, but decided not to. Rolo Swag Killer getting caught in his own jungle. The Maserati ults him. Swag Killer flashes away. But
what is that Eclipse cooldown? I just saw it happen twice, so in like 6 seconds. Is that really a cooldown?
I don't think it has a cooldown. It's just how many auto attacks and abilities you can...
No, it does have a cooldown. It does have a cooldown. It's just, that was very quick.
Maybe it's bugged.
Let me check that.
I played the Lee Sin RM game recently and it was...
Just a 6-second cooldown. Just a 6-second cooldown. Wow, that is hardly anything at all. That Trundle really did not have a good time there. The Eclipse
Maybe
item
not.
is
Can confirm.
really strong. Yep. Let's have a quick look again. Jax here, ignoring his boots, who needs movement speed anyways, is going for that Blade of the Rune King immediately. He's already got that Vampiric Scepter. And he's preparing even more. Sitting at 5k gold total, and only 200 on him right now. With his next recall, he'd be buying Pickaxe and then going onwards to the next item. Wonderful. He's preparing the anti-Mundo contingency plan.
Oh, he's
It's
going
like Batman
Blade.
versus
Yeah.
Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Batman versus Superman. You know, the endless debate, who could win who. You know, if Jax gets enough prep time, I think he could.
Diff going in. But decided he's out. He knows the Jarvan is coming. Exhaust goes through, but I don't think it's gonna make a difference. Dev might go down. He does proc ultimate. He's locked in the Cataclysm, and Jarvan finishes off. Nice.
Very unfortunate end for
Google
this
Maps might actually
Alistair.
dive him here. No,
Google
but
Maps
he will
is looking
force
for
him to
that tower
back.
dive, but he doesn't want to be too ballsy with it here because Sambiru is relatively close to his level 11, and with level 11, you know, the Mundo ultimate just gets stronger and stronger.
Oh,
So until Jax has Blade of the Rune King, he can pretty much forget about getting that solo kill.
Swag is top lane. Google Maps is playing a little safer. Yep, there we go. Ah, that's gonna be a shutdown for the Mundo. Yikes. Damn. He did have teleport. I'm surprised he didn't like take the bad back and just teleport back.
Well, he didn't predict the gank from the enemy. He didn't have any wards
He
left
saw
there
him.
to
He just
jump to
cleared
either.
his pink ward.
Oh.
He cleared the pink ward further down the river. So he
Let's
definitely
see.
saw
So
him.
Google Maps doesn't have
is-
the map in the bottom right of your screen DLC. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
Maps
Riot. I
time.
see your game. I see your game here, Riot. We're trying to monetize the mini map now.
Yeah, you can pay a subscription.
Oh yes, yes.
No,
You know
not
it's
every day.
ooh, Maserati steals.
Teleport
Jax
from
gets some
Google
free
Maps.
kills.
Wow. Okay. And that Victor gets a kill as well, which means mid lane is kind of
Turbo ahead.
there's not a lot
Turbo
of
ahead.
difference.
Turbo ahead. We've got that 400. No, sir, pardon me, 500 gold difference in the mid lane. That's a world of a difference. I'm telling you, you could buy a whole amplifying tome with it.
It does help though. It does help.
Most definitely. Yeah, man,
And
1,000 wouldn't be 1,000 without 500.
Yep. He seems to be like winning the trades as well with his QE, so this might actually be over in the mid lane. Although Annie is never, useless. Just flash ult, stun entire team.
Yep, and then let your teammates play the game. Again, this is just gonna be another wait until Smolder wakes up type match, you know?
Yep. Honk Shu Mimi as Shadow.
Right, guys,
Included.
pull out a duvet or recline your seats. We're gonna be entering the high altitude flight zone of Smolder at 300 stacks.
Yep.
Just in case you've got life jackets under your seats and oxygen masks above you.
Here.
Ooh,
But the ult
X-Pax.
is doing work.
X-Pax takes an unfortunate trade, forcing Saucy to decide whether he backs off or keeps following up for the potential kill. X-Pax leaves just on time. Ooh, Jax is a bit too slow for Mundo. He does go where he pleases.
Maserati just going in solo here.
I mean, when you're as strong as Jarvan in this minute of the game, level 11,
5-0.
I think you could force a little 2v1 here. Just about is that strong.
Oh, he did stop their push, so Sivir doesn't lose much. But other than that, it was only 3 minions.
Ooh, Jax getting to kiting. Does he have his Bladed Rune King yet? No, he does not. He's just a Vampiric Scepter and a dagger here.
He is sitting on 1,300 gold though. 1,400. Oh, YOLO Swagger's here. They're gonna take the first tower, I think. Nope.
Google Maps, you have your ult. Why are we backing off? You counter Trundle. But your tower was on HP and he's afraid of Mundo. I see it now.
Yeah. He just gave tower. It's fine.
Yet
they
again,
got first tower
better
back from
safe than sorry. Is there a way for us to check right now who has won the feats of strength? Has anyone won them yet?
let's see.
Actually, yes. Team Diff has won feats of strength.
Yep, they have. Ooh,
Dr. Mundo
teleports
TP's down
in,
to that
but-
bot lane. Goes
Oh, he wasted
and
two
steals one
teleport.
front row minion. Outplay of the century. Zombiru.
Oh no. Oh no, you left the Jack alone with your turret. Not Jack, Jax, Jesus.
Jax is now going to have a jolly good time destroying that tower.
X-Pax desperately trying to get the tower, trying to sneak it. But Saucy
Unfortunately,
clears the
Annie
wave.
has that ultimate. Tibbers helps out with clearing the wave.
Ooh. Okay, Jax had to actually back off because
Trundle held the wave just for a
Swag
few
and
seconds.
Zambiro were there.
Yep. Ooh. Annie getting away with that attempt at the dive, just with a second to spare, because the stun hits just as Victor was about to hit his auto attack from his empowered Q.
Dev knows they're doing dragon. Towards it. I don't think there's much.
But now we have 3 control wards. Sorry, it's 2 now. One of them was already
I don't
placed.
think you have enough control wards in the dragon pit.
More control wards.
X-Pax pretty low, trying to do as much damage as possible.
Yes, guys, don't
Goes
forget
off.
we need to focus Alistar.
Oh my.
And finally,
Okay.
they've decided to reach the backline, and that's pretty much a team wipe right there. Jax, okay, he gets ulted by Annie,
The item
and
difference is
has
too
to
much.
leave.
That was
Yep,
a
he
massacre.
looking at this current state in the game, there's only a 5k gold difference, but this game for some reason feels a lot more won by Team Diff than the previous one. The
Yep.
previous match, it felt like it was flippable up until some point in the game, you know? But this time around,
Yep.
realistically speaking, you just saw that team fight go down.
Yeah. I couldn't keep
Team
up. There
V doesn't have any damage right now. Their damage is neutralized entirely by Jax dodging auto attacks and Jarvan pulling shields out of nowhere.
Yep.
Ooh. Jax finally got Blade of the Rune King. He can now 100 to 0 Mundo by
Oh
himself.
lord, Zambiro getting chunked.
But now Jax unfortunately gets slowed because Mundo presses R button and walks away. Trundle's still keeping up that clear, running around playing PvE.
They might?
No,
I think
it's
they're
too early
gonna
for
go-
Atakan.
Yep. Okay. Google Maps just take the fruit. The Maserati just
Steals
setting
Grow.
up camp in YOLO Swag Killer's jungle.
Ooh, Jax gets the 2-man jump, assassinates Annie.
Grenade Jax.
Now?
Oh wow, Dev, that was a pretty good alt timing. He timed it so that he doesn't get stunned with the from the Victor W.
Interesting. Jax now has Mundo in a compromised position, but they decide to not chase the Madman of Zon himself, and instead let him go where he pleases. That would have to be the Raptors camp.
Yep.
Okay, communications going out. We're seeing pings going about. Jax? Oh, they don't show you pings when you look at the chat. Oh, what a shame. Anyways, Trundle gets told off from going into the river by his teammates very caringly. They're trying to ensure that their play stay coincides and that Smolder gets to farm. Matter of fact, Alistar is here freezing the wave just so that Smolder could farm it. This is some top tier dedication to the craft. I mean, I'd understand it completely if Smolder was already very near to finishing the completion of his passive. Let's keep a quick reminder on this. he has finished the tripling of his abilities. So when he Qs, it does the
Okay.
triple shot. And he
yes.
is only a handful of stacks away from finishing his passive and getting the Elder Drake Execute, which would be at 225 stacks. He's currently at 172.
True, but if he gets bursted down, and he very well might, Team Diff right now are like an item above the heads of them
It is
entirely.
very possible, but I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt with 3 frontline champions on V or enemy's side.
Three
So
frontline
if
champions, but I don't know that Jax is a grenade. He jumps in and blasts anyone he touches. He's pretty fed. Not to mention Jarvan R is also pretty strong. Like we've seen him one-shot the Zambiro at a quarter health.
Yep. Expected, to be honest. Ooh,
Oh,
Jax going
Google
100 to
Maps
0 with
is
Mundo again.
Committing.
But unfortunately, the Mundo
He's
champion
too
has a bit too much
fast.
HP.
Oh,
And Jax, you
has
switched
jump.
on your E a bit too early. You need to hold your abilities. They don't work to get, on their own well enough. We're not playing Aurelia here. We can't throw abilities to the wind and then hope that the champion does everything for you. No disrespect or hate towards the Aurelia players, of course.
Zambiro's back to full health.
Warmug's armor, wonderful item. Stand still, do nothing. Item plays the game for you.
What? Why is Google Maps backing off? That's a Trundle. He only has one item. You have two.
And that one item is a Ravenous Hydra on armor boots. Jax is actually at a big disadvantage against Trundle in a fist fight. Because Trundle has Zolt, and he can steal Jax's tank stats.
Oh my god, Real Maserati just... Oh, Benas fails his flash. Rest in peace. Goodbye, Dragon. Oh, and they give the kill to Shambles.
Okay, about time the ADC gets some action.
Sausage
And he
just
summons in
ults,
Sivers.
misses.
That's... No, that hit. It's just that Jax really didn't take any damage from it. He has Chainlace Crushers, which is the upgraded version of Merc Treads. Those of you who don't know. He did get that magic shield, so he took
Okay,
completely
objectives are
zero
getting
damage.
traded here. Atakan for Dragon.
What if Team Diff decide to contest this as well? They are playing a 3v3 here at the objective.
Oh, they are. But they have Smite on their side, so yeah, the Dragon's gonna go too.
Ooh, and that's Flash from Sivir going out.
Ooh, Dev getting caught by the ultimate. Little Maserati is here. Shambles playing safe. Doing the Zambiru, but the Specular goes down, and Zambiru's probably gonna down. There he goes.
Very unfortunate state of events for Team V or enemy. Team Diff here, pulling up another differential. Now we're looking at a 8,500 lead over V. And they're getting themselves yet another objective. That's 2 Drakes, a Baron, and Void Clubs.
Smolder
For Team Diff.
has... How many stacks does Smolder have? Let's see. Smolder has 214 stacks right now.
214, he's only 11 stacks away from finishing his passive. After which, the scaling game is over. We would have finally reached the cruising altitude of Smolder 225 stacks.
The Smolder Benas. Nice fun. There goes
Ooh,
the
Jax
first
decides
turret.
to... Jax decides that he will simply ignore someone defending the tower. He has his passive fully stacked and a W. So he just, doing,
He can bonk.
destroys that tower.
He shall bonk.
Destroys that tower, leaves, refuses to elaborate. Love it when that happens.
Oh no. Not the lactose intolerance. Sorry guys, I was not looking at chat.
This game is quite captivating at this exact moment, with how much is going on.
Oh, Saucy gets bursted down by X-Packs. Ultimate.
Victor, where did that damage come from? We weren't seeing it just now, but all of a sudden, wow.
That's the 136 CS Victor with almost 3 items now. And a fully stacked Dark Steel plus Baron. So, I think-
236 CS. Jesus Christ.
yep, the man's been farming. He has 417 AP.
That
are
is a
burned up.
lot. Jesus.
Yep.
Jax decides to ignore Mundo. And tries to force that solo kill. Again, even with anti-heal, even with Borg, even with Triforce, Jax still cannot 100 to 0 Mundo. Like I've previously
Mostly
mentioned,
because
that
of
early
the
game,
move speed, though.
yeah, that's the
Ghost
biggest issue.
and
The
ult.
only issue is that Mundo can switch on the ult and just walk away in a straight line. Jax needs to auto attack to keep doing the damage. You know, so every second that he stops to swing his lamp, twink the enemy, he's losing time. He's losing time that he could spend walking towards the enemy. And Mundo is faster to begin with, so there's only
To
so
be
much that
fair,
he can do.
It's not that if Mundo gets ganked, there's no way for him to win the 2v1 because Jax exists. And I think this was a very good draft pick from Diff.
I do have to agree.
Very smart pick. Damn. I honestly thought the draft was in favor of V, but
More frontline doesn't always mean more better. I mean, the Smolder is very strong, but the only issue is that he's like 2 levels behind, and he's finally finished his passive. Wow, guys, we've now reached the
he?
cruising altitude of
Let's
Smolder
see.
Airlines.
Smolder has 262 stacks. All right, maybe this begins. It begins. Nah,
The
X-Pax
the scale
kind
ending.
of strong here. I don't think.
X-Max is too strong for anyone to challenge him. I think if he knows how to glide properly, he can 1v5 actually in team fight.
Wow, it's a 5-team bot lane defending from this push here. However, Google Maps is doing what Jax does and solo
Split
pushing top.
So I guess the legend is true. This game around, it's Jack's whole push.
Look at Google Maps' damage. Zambiro has to ult again.
But look at that, inadvertently, not even directly fighting the Jax, just by clearing wave, Zambiru takes him down to half health. What a champion.
Yeah.
Mind you, no Thornmail here. If Zambiru had Thornmail, Jax would be destroying himself by auto-attacking him.
Honestly, at this
Let's
point,
keep in mind
I
though
would
that
go
this Jax pick
Thornmail
wasn't for the
Jax.
counter. I know, I would too. I mean,
And
realistically
get rid of
speaking,
Ooh,
it would work.
Dev is here to help out Zambiru. Oh wow, Shamble's just ours to chase YOLO Swag Killer. Well, Maserati's here. Ult the Saucy. Ult
Is
from
that a
Lulu
failed
goes
flash
off.
from Saucy?
X-Pax
Unfortunately,
gets the
Saucy
kill.
fails his flash.
YOLO Swag Killer might get caught here. Smites Maserati to slow him down, but it's not gonna make a difference, and he goes down.
Jax decides to
Alright,
not continue
they're
the
looking for
chase
more.
here,
Then Maserati wants more.
but Jax wants
Decides
less. The minion wave is
on their
enough.
impulsion.
Alright,
Okay,
let's
I think
keep
that's
in mind
Baron
here that
gonna
Smolder
get
was
there.
not part of that fight.
Yeah, I don't think they're communicating the usual.
Ooh, Mundo damage.
Mundo damage is insane, dude. Alright.
Perhaps if the Jax was a bit greedier, he would have kept that fight going. But thankfully, Google Maps has decided to retreat on time.
Yeah, but they're playing smart here. They don't need to fight, right? Like
Not
they just
even
need
in the
to wait out
slightest,
Baron,
actually.
take Baron,
Although,
take turrets.
wait, who?
GG.
V or
Team Diff.
Team
Team
Diff?
Diff. They don't need to fight. They know if they fight an all-out battle, they're gonna win, right? Because they're so ahead right now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, Jax!
Yep, but the important part.
Armor guard. Oh, it's gonna be a golden
yeah.
Jax.
Golden Jax.
Yeah, they're 14k ahead. It's
Yeah, I think that for them here, what's important is that they don't throw their lead because Smolder is still a funny champion,
yeah. So is Mundo.
even with their current game presence.
Wow, look at this Baron. Just holy damage, dude.
Hot knife, hot knife versus Baron challenge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Maserati might get caught here. Saucy ults him. However, he's just a little too ahead. He doesn't take that much damage. Ooh, Diff flashes. Gets the stun. Maserati goes back in. Ults 3-man. Holy. YOLO Swag Killer is actually doing a lot of damage. They need to take out. Okay. Diff goes down. Nas goes down. Everybody's going down.
X-Pax pulls up. And,
Yes. And Google Maps
decides to
will not that
despawn
fight.
everyone.
He's just...
Yeah, and Jax. Oh my
yes.
god, Golden Jax! Golden Jax! Wait, but that wasn't the Golden Helicopter.
Oh, not Golden Helicopter. Oh, is Zambiru gonna carry? Is Zambiru gonna 1v9?
Jax does not care. He started clearing the.
He actually got stumbles! Oh my god.
Actually, guys, report Jax. He ignored the team fight to clear the next. Alright, and that's another GG for Team Diff. A really strong team. I was not expecting 2 back-to-back diffs.
Team Diff are
Wins.
the Team Diff.